So, what if all the separate worlds of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the thousands of others, could finally actually talk to each other? That's the massive, massive ambition behind Polkadot. And today, we're going to break down how it plans to connect them all. All right, here's what we've got on tap. We're going to kick things off by exploring the big problem that's kind of holding crypto back. Then we'll see how Polkadot steps in as the solution. We'll use a really simple airport analogy to see how it works, get into the role of its token, DOT, and finally weigh its grand vision against, reality. Okay, so to really get Polkadot, we have to start with the problem it was built to solve. And that problem is, essentially, the fact that most blockchains are like their own little islands. I mean, it's a huge hurdle for the entire crypto space. Most blockchains, they just operate in total isolation. They've got their own rules, their own code, their own security, which means right out of the box, they just can't communicate or share information with each other. It's not what they were built for. Think of it like this. Bitcoin is one island, Ethereum is another. They both have these amazing, thriving economies, right? But there are no bridges, no boats. You can't just easily send something from one to the other. Because, well, they were built from the ground up to be completely separate. So, if the big problem is this giant sea of disconnected crypto islands, how do you fix it? How do you build the bridges? Well, that's exactly where Polkadot comes in. It wants to be the central hub for everybody. To put it simply, Polkadot was designed from day one to solve this whole island problem. It's not trying to be yet another island. Nope. Its entire reason for existing is to be the meeting point, the central station where all these different blockchains can finally plug in and actually interact with each other. Okay, so how does this thing actually work under the hood? The technical stuff can get a little dense, but honestly, there's a fantastic analogy that makes it all just click. Yep, that's it. Forget all the complicated code and consensus stuff for a minute. Just picture a big, bustling international airport. This one single image is the key to understanding how Polkadot is structured. So this airport has three key parts. First, you've got the relay chain. That's the airport terminal itself. It's the security, the air traffic control, the thing that coordinates everything. Then you have parachains. Think of these like the different airlines. One might be for finance, another for gaming, but they all use the main airport to operate safely. And finally, you have bridges. These are like the international flight paths that connect this airport to other huge independent hubs like the Ethereum or Bitcoin networks. Now, every system, and especially an airport, it needs fuel, right? It needs an engine to keep things running. For the entire Polkadot network, that engine is its native token, DOT. And DOT isn't just a coin you buy and sell. It is the operational fuel for the whole network. It has four really important jobs. People use it for staking. That's locking up DOT to help secure everything. They use it for governance, which gives them voting rights on changes. It's used for bonding, which is kind of like how a new airline pays rent for a spot at the airport. And of course, it covers your basic transaction fees. And this is a really, really crucial point. Owning DOT is less like owning a stock and more like being a shareholder who also has operational duties. The token itself is literally woven into the security, the management, and the growth of the entire network. The vision here is incredibly ambitious, but like any grand project, there's a gap between the blueprint and what's actually built. So let's take a balanced look at Polkadot's biggest strengths and the hurdles it still has to clear. On one hand, you can see the appeal, right? It's obvious. Polkadot directly tackles crypto's biggest headaches. It promises interoperability so blockchains can work together. It offers scalability because all the work gets spread out. All of that comes with shared security and a built-in governance system where people get a real say. For developers, that's a huge draw. But on the other hand, all that power comes with a price. Let's be honest, the system is complex. It can be tough for new developers to just jump in. And it's not the only game in town. Projects like Cosmos are also trying to solve this problem, just in a different way. At the end of the day, Polkadot's success depends on that classic network effect. It needs to get enough cool projects building there to become the must-use hub it wants to be. So when you boil it all down, here's the deal. Polkadot is a big, ambitious bet on a very specific vision of the future. It's a bet that the future of crypto is about connection, not isolation. A future where blockchains collaborate to build something bigger than any one of them could on its own. And that leads us to the final huge question, doesn't it? Is this vision of connected blockchains the key to building Web3, the next version of the internet? Polkadot is betting everything that the answer is yes. The infrastructure it's building is its attempt to prove it. It's a grand experiment, and for sure, one we'll all be watching.